Thank you.
How do you feel right
now? I feel wonderful for this organization, obviously, these players and the dedication they've had over the course of the season, but the guys that have been here for going into their third year. My staff has been incredible, and just really excited for them. And then lastly, excited for people back in Tasmania. What a couple days this is going to be back there in a very special place. And I'm thrilled to be able to do this with this group. I definitely want to make sure that we respect the fact that United is an incredible team, fantastically coached, great players over there. And these last 4 games, this really came down to a few possessions here and there, and our guys stayed resilient when it looked like they might throw a knockout punch, and they just kept grinding away, and I can't be more proud of this group.
Yeah, just talk about that. I mean, you've just come from behind so many times, you've never given up and grinded it out, and it was the same again today. Yeah,
I think that the trait was throughout the season, really. We had probably an anomaly of that first game against them when we traveled back in from Perth, and maybe a little fatigued, and they smacked us pretty good. But over the course of the season, we had a few times when we could have been knocked completely out and lost the game by 20, and no one would have probably said very much. But these guys just fought back and stayed with it, and next thing you know, it's a 6-point game, or it's in the last minute and we have a chance, and they fought back. And it's just a leadership from our captains, but more importantly, just the poise that we have, knowing that we've done the work all season. And today, I was in huddles just telling them, just stay poised, just stay with what we're doing, just win 5 minutes, and then we'll get to the next 5 minutes. And they just found a way.
You've always said a championship wouldn't change your life, but it will change Tasmania. And
yes.
Do you feel that's
absolutely?
Happening?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, for these guys, and they're young and they're going through their careers, it's a hell of a thing and a hell of an accomplishment. But for me, my satisfaction comes from giving back and having people celebrate this team. And we hit a nerve with Tasmania in the first year, and the fans just kept coming, and the relationship between us and the fans have been ginormous over the last 3 years. And to give something back to the state is hugely gratifying to me. I've always said, I don't count myself as a coach, more of a mentor and try to lead, and to give something back to the state will hopefully be part of my legacy there.
Like next year you dragged down 3 years ago, did you, I've asked you this before, but in your wildest dreams, would you think you're sitting here right now as a championship winning coach and captain?
Absolutely. I said when I got the job the first day, people thought I was crazy. I said we're going to win a championship this year. And we haven't talked about it other than the fact that every year we come in with that same kind of mindset. And the first year no one believed me. They thought I was off my rocker. But I do believe in culture. I do believe in finding high character guys. And I do believe in the work. And I'm not cocky the fact that I think I'm sitting here, but I just believed in the group that we put together and the work they were doing, that they were going to get opportunities and chances. And Game 4 could have been one of those ones that you drop your head and you can't, survive that after that last 50 or 6 seconds or so there. And to come back and do it again here, and this time throw a knockout punch and make plays, just shows that the group is, incredibly strong.
Yeah, just before we go, Clint, I mean, how did you keep them up after Thursday night? Because you had the chance to win it at home, I suppose. They would have been a little bit deflated, I guess, the guys. What did you say to them, and how did you keep them up for the last couple of days?
To be quite honest with you, I didn't say very much to them because I just know that I've seen it throughout the entire season that they would bounce back. And as long as we got 2 days of rest and got our legs back underneath us, their mindset was to go attack again. We weren't scared of anyone. We weren't scared of being in this building. I didn't have to say very much to really motivate them. They were well motivated. That they knew this came down to one game, and Clint's leadership and Jack and Fab and their captainship was hugely important in that process. And then we just had really good high character guys that just said we're just all in. We don't know what's going to transpire here. But Magne to me probably exemplified this team. He gets hurt in the first 2 minutes and pulls his hamstring a little bit, and he's basically hopping up and down. And I thought that one of the biggest plays of the game was the dunk that he had at the very end of the game there, and just beasted them down there. And it was a statement dunk that we're here and we're in front of you. And he exemplified what we were going through and the mentality of this team.
Clint, congratulations. What's going through your head right now, mate?
Yeah, probably a lot. Just trying to, I guess, calm down right now and I guess, process what's happened, what we've done, and yeah, I guess you go on these journeys, experience a whole lot, and you just want to be able to share that experience. And right now, we got a small glimpse of sharing that experience with our fans that travelled, and I can't wait to share it with Tasmania when we arrive. I can't wait to share it with my family. Just to see them and show my appreciation to my family and to our fans back home with this group that we have. Yeah, I'll be able to, I guess, give you a bit of a clearer answer then. But yeah, they've shared this experience with us, and now that we've finished it off, we want to go back and show them you guys are a part of this.
You've been in this situation before, obviously. What's it mean to do it as a Jack Jumper Day?
Yeah, it's definitely special, mate. I mean, each championship you get is, in their own respect, have their highs and their lows and everything in between. And this one's pretty bloody special, mate. This one's special.
Frightening to think what could happen in Tasmania the next few days. We've got the big band day tomorrow, obviously. I don't know how many people will be there, probably 15,000 potentially, but the place could go nuts.
Yeah, and you know, like I said before, I can't wait to share this experience with them. Just they've embraced us and their support, and whatever the result was going to be today, I wanted to walk off that court and them looking down saying, we're proud to have those guys represent us. And I said that from the very beginning of day one when I arrived here, and I think it was August 10th, 3 years ago. And now we get to share this experience with them, and as wild as it may get, they're certainly going to enjoy it.
Best move you've made to Tasmania, is it?
It's pretty close. I've had some memorable moments in my life, but this is certainly up there with them, absolutely.
Clint, just how tough was that series? 5 games, I guess, right down to the very end.
Yeah, I guess if you look at our club, our group, our fan base, I mean, our state, they probably wouldn't have wanted it any other way, really, to come down to the last 5 seconds and of a Game 5 championship. I mean, all the work you've done is to prepare yourself for the last 2 minutes, Game 5 of a championship game. And I guess we made it a bit nerve-wracking with 5 seconds to go when we threw that inbound pass and got turned over. But yeah, just a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of trust in each other has gone into it. And yeah, there's probably not much else I can say really on that one.
It's clearly a team effort, but Jack McVeigh winning the medal, how big was he for you guys?
Mate, this whole season, just the way he's matured as a person, his growth on the court, we get to see it every day. Everyone else gets to see it when the bright lights are on, and he just continually come through for us big time. And there's a lot of focus on Jack, game-wise, I guess, and a lot of attention, and he just continually came up big time, making the right plays for us throughout the course of a series, and that's it. I mean, I've never done it, but I can only imagine how tough it is to do, and he was huge. He's big time this whole season.
Scott, how proud are you of Jack McVeigh? I mean, one of the first signings of the organisation, now a championship MVP. How proud are you?
Yeah, I think, again, my goal was to keep this core group moving through over the next few years, and the growth of Shawnee Mack and Jack McVeigh year to year has been enormous. And then you throw in Magny now being healthy and his growth over the last 2 months, and then we add in Majuk Dang, who comes back from an injury and plays a huge role, and then Drimmick's been solid throughout the course of the time, and then the core group of Fab and Clint and Milt absorbing Crawford and Lee and getting them on page of what we were trying to do. it's just been a really good group. But our growth with those three guys in particular have been fantastic, and they continue to get better. And to be quite honest, I didn't know Jack McVeigh was going to come out at this level that he's come out in the last few weeks. But he's told on himself, so we'll expect it more often. But he was a huge factor in everything. But the growth of our guys every single year, we pride ourselves on making sure that these guys are working during the course of the season so that we're on a slow trajectory that maybe fans don't see, but we see internally that we are getting better by the end of the season and that we're not digressing and not taking time off to think that we've accomplished something. And the work they put in, they got rewarded for it today.
Clint, how have you seen that development through the playing group since day one?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I guess, the work you put in and the trust you put in each other. And, I mean, you can talk about the work we've done on the floor, but I guess one thing we spoke about as a group today actually is what we've done together off the floor. And that's a big part of trying to create a championship team. It's not just the work on the floor, it's the camaraderie and getting around each other, going to trivia nights together, and like it all plays its part. And just the way we've come together, and yeah, I mean, you want to grow, you want to get better as you go throughout the season, and as we reflect on it, you're going to pick out different points where we saw growth, where we got around each other, where we weren't so good, and how we overcome different things. But yeah, tough to reflect on that right now, but at some point we will and look at that growth.
Scott, how important was Jordan Crawford tonight after 27 points in the first half?
Yeah, obviously he was huge. He kept the scoreboard ticking over for us. He was aggressive. With him, we were harping on just particularly in the last 6 weeks of the season, just quality shots and being patient. He wants to try to knock you out every single time he has the ball in his hand, and we're kind of trying to rein him back just a tad. And obviously, he showed up big in this game and got the scoreboard ticking over for us, which allowed us to stay with them. And he was ginormous. And then it got to the second half, and obviously, he slowed down a tad, but his pressure on the rim and his penetration and stuff was good. And then it got to the closer with Milt, and he made really good plays down the end of the game. And I can't say much more than I can about Shawnee Mack and playing 35 minutes as a developmental player, and the importance of him being on the floor. And we changed our starting lineup intentionally to put more pressure on them and have Chris Goulding have to guard a ball handling guard, and everything just kind of fell in place.
Do you think about, I mean, you want to enjoy this moment, but the future, you're locked in for a few more years. The bulk of your squad are here next year, obviously, already. It's a dynasty that could be created from here, potentially.
Well, let's pump our brakes, my friend. Jesus, Brent. Now I wish you were back in Hobart on the computer. Really, at the end of the day, we are really far down the road, actually, behind the scenes in our progress to sign players back, and we're really far down the line, and our roster's almost complete, to be quite honest with you, before we even get to the end of April. So we have a vision of keeping this group together, obviously, and making sure they stay together, but let's just enjoy the moment and see where it leads us, and not get too far ahead of ourselves. The work is the work, and what we bring back next year, we'll bring back, and it'll all be in an effort to make sure that this franchise is moving in the right direction. And sometimes there's tough decisions to be made that aren't overly popular, and that's my responsibility. And in my last 3 years here, moving into next year, I want to leave this place as something that's in really good shape for the next person to go ahead and coach. Chris Pike? No?
Yeah, mate, go ahead. Perfect. Congrats, both of you guys. Scott, you had the underdog label from day one right through to this series, even after you had sort of 3 really strong years. Are you looking forward to losing that tag now that you've got a trophy, or is it one that you want to hold on to?
Well, I think that, these guys have obviously gained respect over the course of each year and continue to grow. And it's not so much being the underdog, really, at some point or another. It's really just stop punching down at us. The people of Tasmania deserve better. And we again want to represent them, and if we are the underdog, we are. But we have every right to be doing what we're doing at a high level, and we'll continue to swing as long as I'm in charge of this team for the next 3 years to make sure that the people of Tasmania are proud of this group, not so much on the floor, but absolutely off the floor and what we do and how we go about the state. And next week I'll be heading north and northwest to start my trips before I go home at the end of April, and that's hugely important to me to get out amongst the fans. And the good news is I get to bring a trophy with me to share it with people up in the north and the northwest who are just as hugely important to this franchise than anywhere else in the state, and I'm excited to do that.
Thanks. Congrats again.
Appreciate it.
What's tonight look like? Are you a big celebrator?
I'm going to be probably more enjoying watching everyone else celebrate and enjoy the moment, and I'll have a few beers. And unfortunately, it was so nice today that when I was outside smoking my first cigar, for some strange reason, I have no idea there was a chair there. Never been a chair there in the back of this property. And I said, you know what? What the hell? I'm going to smoke my last cigar of the year. So I smoked 2. So I don't have one to smoke tonight, but I'll sit back and watch these guys celebrate and enjoy themselves, and then rightfully so. And then we're going to have a hell of a celebration in the next few days back in Tasmania.
I reckon we can find one, mate.
Yeah.
I'll have 3 today then. That's fine with me.
Well done, lads. Go and enjoy it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys. Appreciate you.
Have a good off-season.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.